Having worked with over 100 painters, having spoken to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more painters, there's one critical thing that keeps popping up when they have the frustration of not hitting their revenue targets, not hitting their income targets, and not hitting their profit targets. Most of them come to me and say, Taz, help me improve the performance of my team. That is the number one thing they ask me to help them with. But when we pull it apart, it's not necessarily performance. Then we look under a little bit more and we identify, hey guys, welcome to the Painter's Circle, where we help painting business owners scale their operations, increase profitability, and gain more time freedom. I'm Taz Mullis, and in this podcast, I'll share actionable tips, expert strategies, and real-world insights that'll help you grow your painting business without burning you out. Ready to take your painting business to the next level? Let's go. Oh yeah! What is their pipeline? Because we're looking at, do they have a capacity issue? Do they have a pipeline issue? Is it too long? Too short, not enough? But the number one thing that comes up over and over and over again is the majority of them have a pricing problem. There's only three core problems that happen in your business if you have inconsistency in revenue and cash flow. They are caused by one of the three P's: pricing, performance, or the pipeline. Now, in this short video, I want to identify what most people struggle with, and it's pricing. Now, I understand that the thing I hear is, Taz, you don't understand, I can't put my prices up because I'm gonna lose more work. I get that. But that isn't necessarily a pricing issue. That is possibly a sales issue. But if you look at your business right now, and the performance is pretty good, you're hitting the target that you're aiming at. If your pipeline matches the capacity of your team, the last factor is pricing. And if you don't fix pricing, you are always going to struggle with low revenue, low profits, and low months. Now, think about business as a long game. You're not trying to win the game of business this week. You're trying to survive this week, but you're not trying to win the game of business this week, and you're not trying to win the game of business this month. More than likely, if you're watching this and you're in business, you're probably going to be in business for at least the next 3 to 5 years. So if we take a longer term view and just go maybe 12 months, 4 quarters, and we identify how much off we are in our pricing, let's use an example. You may be 10% off your targets. Performance is on point, capacity is on point, which is your pipeline, but your pricing is off about 10%. How do you know? If you have not increased your pricing over the past 5 years, I can tell you now you're 100%, 10% off the rates. Because if you haven't noticed, the cost of living is going like this, everything's gone up. Insurance has gone up, labor's gone up, materials have gone up, and more recently, fuel has skyrocketed. So if you haven't considered increasing pricing just to cover the increase in costs, you by default are going to be underpricing because you're trying to perform at the rate that's more expensive these days. So getting back to the question of, Taz, how do I increase prices 10%? I'm going to lose work. I'm not going to win jobs. Well, if you get a little bit nervous, think about it over 12 months. Do you feel like you could increase prices 1% a month or 3% per quarter? Do you? What is your average dollar sale? I'll pick a simple business. So where I'm based, the average dollar sale is about 10K per job in residential repaint. So in your business, divide the total amount of revenue you have by the total amount of jobs, that'll give you average dollar sale or average dollar job. Now, if it's 10K and you were to increase your prices 1%, which is about $100, and you started for this month, added 1% to all your quotes. If you lose because of price, you are not losing because of price. You're losing because your sales process sucks. You have not established any perceived value, you more than likely have been super interesting to them instead of being interested in them. Do you struggle with a plan in your painting business that's fast, clear, and specific? Our Game Plan Builder turns your chaos into a tailored plan. It's built fast, it's built for you, and it's built to move. Check out the show notes for your copy and download it today. Increase. So over a quarter, 3% is $300. Over 90 days, a $10,000 job jumps to $10,300. That even if you're losing on price, that's not a pricing problem. It's still a probably not qualifying the right clients problem, not attracting the right leads problem, but more than likely, lack of sales skills problem. Multiply that by the next quarter, the next quarter, the next quarter. So over 12 months, it would be fair to say your business would not fall apart if you increased it 1% per month. It's hardly anything. But what we do is we catastrophize the whole thing and say, oh, I can't, if I put my prices up 10%, no one's going to go with me, and insert whatever story you want to tell yourself. But I'll tell you right now, if your business is already 10% under, in 12 months' time, it's going to be 11, 12, 13% under. Because the world keeps moving. Nothing's getting cheaper. Everything's getting more expensive. And what happens? You get squeezed because your labor is going to cost the same or more. Materials are going to cost the same or more. Your overheads are going to cost the same or more. You know the only gap's not going to move? The amount of money that you pay you and the amount of money that is left in profit in the business. So I want you to think about this strategically. Your pricing needs to match what your business requires to operate. You are not price gouging because you want your business to be able to pay your team what they're worth, buy the materials, pay your commitments, pay you market salary, at minimum market salary, and for all that risk that you're taking, make a return on that investment or a return on your time in the business or a return on the risk, however you want to measure it. That is not being unreasonable. But when we fall into the trap of, I can't increase my prices, guess what's going to happen? You are going to consistently have low months. You are going to consistently have cash flow problems. You're going to consistently have this up and down roller coaster in your business. Pricing is probably the hardest for people to understand, to move towards, because they would rather work harder at the thing that's not working than fix the thing that's not working, because you can't outwork a bad pricing strategy. I'm just telling you now, if you're already starting out 10% behind in pricing and you want to outwork a bad pricing strategy to add that 10% by becoming more efficient 10%, it's not enough, because you have to actually win more, because you're only getting better at the labor component. All the other overheads haven't moved. They haven't moved at all. So I'm not joking. This is probably the number one thing that comes up the most when I'm looking at businesses. There's not that many businesses, like be under 10%, they'll look at that they don't have a pricing problem. So if you've looked at your business and you're going, wow, my team are operating pretty well, more than likely, if you set target budget hours in your business and the team are hitting those hours, tick, and you're scheduling to capacity for the team that you have and you're hitting that target, tick, but you're still not hitting the revenue and profit numbers that you want to be hitting, more than likely what's happening is your target budget hours are incorrect, because you've created those numbers based on a false economy of low pricing. I see it every single time. So the result, the easiest part is look at your accounting software, look at zero. There's going to be a number every month and every quarter. How much money did we invoice and collect? How much money did we make? What is our gross profit? What is our net profit? That's all you need to know for this purpose right now. Go back to the team. What is our capacity of our team? Are we scheduling to capacity? What is our pipeline? What is the number we should be hitting? Do we need more people, less people? Then more importantly, have a look at your pricing. If you haven't looked at pricing, at least in the last 12 months, but in the last 3 to 5, if you haven't in the last 3 to 5 years, you significantly have to move because you are going to get squeezed out. So, like I said, there's 3 P's, there's 3 problems when our business isn't hitting our revenue, cash flow, and or profit targets. Pricing, performance, and pipeline. Review them all, but pricing is usually the one that pops up the most because most people don't like increasing pricing because they feel like they're going to lose work. You're going to lose more than work if you don't match the pricing to your business. Anyway, stay cool, be well as usual. See you in 2 weeks. Bye. Hey guys, if you got value from today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss expert tips. If you want some support, check out the link in the show notes and see how we can help you. Don't forget to follow us on socials @PainterCoach. Stay cool, be well, and as usual, see you in 2 weeks. Bye.